What's up, YouTube? I'm back. As you can see, I made me a maroon shirt. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all check it out. Nice little old piece to support the brand. Be a picture of it on my Facebook page. Let's get into it because a lot of people been asking me about these maroons, and I got a lot of them. I got a lot of talk about them. All right. This one here is Star Tracker. It's Shadow Tracker's daughter and Shadow Viper's daughter. Shadow Viper is Stalker's daughter, actually. So that's a whole nother story, a whole nother character. This is about Star Tracker. She has a brother named Demon Tracker that's in the line. It's like he's big and everybody loves him, and she's always been in the shadows of him. You know, her bio is on my page. She's always been in the shadows of him. You know, so yeah, that's my Star Tracker. She's always lived in the shadows of her brother, and when they was starting to, when the man that wears the wolf came to Rook and said he wanted to bring back the masked Maroons, because that's what this team is, the masked Maroons. All of them wear masks, as you can see. She has a mask on. Bujo said that's the guy that trains all the Maroons. Bujo said, well, yeah, he's made this team, put this team together for him, and she was one of them. He said she's living in her brother's shadows. She's a good warrior. She needs to be out there. Next, a real fiery character. Oh, he's failed. Sorry. Next, let me fix that. I'll stick him right there. Oh, right here. Next is Hale. This is Mike's nephew. Same scenario when Chief Lion had to go get Mike. Situation came up. His nephew started getting into trouble, and Mike had to go get him, and he was trained by Legend, and Legend is the one that's trained Shadow Tracker. I mean, Shadow Tracker is the one that trained Legend. Shadow Tracker is dead in my universe, so he couldn't train Hale, and Legend did. So when he came back, how he got the name Hale, when he came back, he was beat to hell, and somebody said it looked like he's been through hell. Because they cool real hard with these Maroons, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you wasn't born on the land and you come to the land, they cool real hard because they want the best of the best of the Maroons to represent the bloodline. So there's my Hale character. Got his mask on. Bio is on my Facebook page. And backstory. And if any of these characters y'all want me to talk about, like get deep into it, just put it in the comments, man. I'll read the comments, put it in the comments and say, hey, we want to see more of this character. And I won't be on the camera. I'll just put the camera on him and talk about them. Here is little Lily. She's in a, you know, robotic mech suit type deal. And her story is this. She was born with a birth defect. Like, she couldn't walk, but she loved being in the warrior camp. She loved being around the warriors. She loved, like, just being at the camp all the time and watching the warriors. And she knew more about the warriors than Bujo did, well, just the same amount. And Bujo was like, he got with Tyrone, which is, I told you all before, is like the Forg of the Maroon community, and was like, hey, man, she's always on the camp. Can you build something for her? Because she has the heart of a warrior, comes from a warrior bloodline, but her body is disfigured. Like, so Tyrone said, I got you. Made her a mech suit. Tyrone took a few months to learn how to work this thing, and she's a hell of a strategist, like, great strategist. And this suit, she became a good warrior. There's a good warrior story where they end up the masked Maroons. Their first test, they fought the Night Savages. Real good story. Yeah, they fought the Night Savages, and everybody was able to shine in that one. So they needed a little. So when Bujo was forming up the team, he noticed You got all these bad, this young blood. We need some older blood in there. So he recruited Drift. Now Drift is Drift. He's a tracker. He was trained by Shadow Tracker 2. And he comes from, but his family, his bloodlines were slaves. He wasn't born on the blood, but his father was a warrior, and his grandfather and them, they were like slaves. So they wasn't born on, on a Maroon camp, you know what I'm saying? So that's his backstory. And his family, his father was a warrior or whatever, and he fought side by side with Rook in the Dragon Wars. He fought in the Dragon Wars. He's always been like Rook's right-hand man. When Rook split off and started his own camp, he was one of the guys that went with him, but they came back or whatever, and Bujo thought it was a good idea for him, to become become one of the masked Maroons, because he's a warrior and he's always been beside Rook. You know what I'm saying? So he's a hell of a warrior. Plus he's a tracker. And somebody took a dive, but that happens. Anybody that has action figures knows that happens. But that's not gonna stop the show. I guess Lily wants to show her face because her mask has failed somewhere. We just gonna wear her down. All right. And the man that wears the wolf. This is the OG. This is the original. And I've showed this guy a bunch because it's one of my favorites. The man that wears the wolf. I've told stories about him before, but this is one of my favorites. He's got a wolf mask. He's got a wolf. He wears a wolf on his back. He comes from a bloodline. His family raised wolves. You know what I'm saying? The black wolf that he wears on his back is a wolf that challenged him, and he killed the wolf and wears it on his back as like a cape or something. And as you can see, he's a real nice character, man. He's the OG of the bunch, man. He was one of the original Maroons, which the original Maroons, the masked Maroons. He was one of the, got tongue twisted. He was one of the original masked Maroons, and that was him, Malachi, which is Rook's father, Alligator Man, and the Mama Shango. She was one of the ones that was a masked Maroon, and I'll show those another day. But yeah, those are my masked Maroons. And how this team ended up getting started is because of the man that wears the wolf, he's getting older and he was getting bored. He just didn't feel like he was doing any serving the camp no justice. I mean, he's an older guy, but he still gets busy. He still goes on missions. I mean, he's an OG. He fought with Rook's father. You know what I'm saying? He's an OG. He's been around for a long time, but how like a lot of older people, man, they get to feeling like worthless, like they're not doing enough. And he was like, so he went to Rook and asked Rook, could he bring back the masked Maroons? And Rook told him, cool, go to the war camp, holler at Bujo. So they went down there and they picked these warriors to be the masked Maroons. And they go on like little missions, private missions, fighting the night savages, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? So more Maroon talk, and yeah, they shine too, man. I really like this Lily character. I really like her a lot. She's nice, nice, nice. Yeah, so, yeah, they're all real good, warriors. Like I said, I got so many masked Maroons, I got teams within the Maroons, you know what I'm saying? I got stories out the wazoo, and I was writing a book, but I'm thinking about just breaking it down to comics because there's a lot of action scenes, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I do foul cards, you got to think like I said before, so we'll talk right now. What makes a good character is the backstory. You know what I'm saying? If the backstory is good, the character is most likely going to be good. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it goes, you know. I like a good backstory. You know, that's what drove me into X-Men, the backstory. That's what drove me into G.I. Joe's, the backstory. You know, there's a lot of real cool, not cool looking G.I. Joes. They got real good backstories. There's a lot of real cool looking X-Men that has real good backstories. So I've always liked the X-Men too. And you can tell with my Maroons, I took some from G.I. Joe, I took some from X-Men, because in the Marvel universe, there's a whole lot of individual teams, and I liked that aspect. And so in my universe, there's a whole lot of individual teams, you know what I'm saying? And then there's the main team, you know what I'm saying? Just like in the X-Men universe, there's X-Force, Weapon X, and so many different Excalibur, the Brotherhood, the X-Force, two different X-Forces. You got X-Factor, you got Astonishing X-Men, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I like that aspect. Even much Cable has a team, you know what I'm saying, that's surrounded around him. Bishop has an old team that's surrounded around him, and I like that. I think even much Warpath has Thunderbird was on the team. Warpath's been on the X-Force, you know what I'm saying? So, and then you got your Age of Apocalypse team. So I like that aspect of different teams being in my universe. And even much G.I. Joe, because they got, you know, several different teams with, well, two well-known teams. Well, they got teams that I remember. They got the Mission Brazil team. They got the Tiger Force and Night Force, and Battle Force 2000, and several other teams. And then with Cobra, you got the Iron Grenadiers and different Vipers and different segments. I like that stuff. So I implemented that into my Maroons, you know what I'm saying? So there's different groups in there, you know, like I just showed you a group yesterday with the Tiger and Primrose, you know, and he has a group with his daughter and his son, and they're more like a rescue crew. But you want to hear about them when I get the other two finished, probably this weekend, I'll show them. And what else I got new with news? Just some chopping it up with you all. The AI pictures, my thoughts on the AI pictures. I'm going to do a piece on AI. But the AI pictures that I had told people, hey, man, if you have a good AI picture you want to see made as a G.I. Joe of yourself or whoever, you know, just send it to me. And if I find it cool, I'll make it. Just how, you know, with this good character, Primrose. And I had a few people send some good pictures in it, and continue sending the pictures in, man, because I like this stuff, man. I really like it. Like I told you all before, this is my downtime. Instead of going out partying, getting high, kicking it with the guys and all that stuff, or hitting bars or hitting clubs and stuff, you know what I'm saying? This is my club right here. You know, this is my bar right here, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather kick it in here with you guys, or kick it with my figures, or make action figures. Like, we were snowed in, you know what I'm saying? We were snowed in still on the cool, but hey, I just embraced it. I liked it. I scratched right into the figures and stayed on them, and I made a ton of figures, and I even much realized I made more than I showed you all the other day. So I didn't, oh man, I forgot to show that one. So I made a bunch of figures, man. I just stayed in the house and just stayed making figures, you know what I'm saying? That's my high, you know. Like I even much made, spin around, you know, Rook's father, you know what I'm saying? And he's a nice one, man. I don't know, I showed him already, but he's a nice one, man. And he was a masked Maroon. I'm gonna make his mask, and I'm gonna have it on him. So when I do the original masked Maroons, he's gonna have his mask on, and he's gonna be with them, man. Malachi is his name, Malachi. And I'm gonna drop him in his story probably tomorrow. But yeah, he's gonna be with them. And yeah. I mean, I have fun with these Maroons, man. I'm so sometimes you can get lost in yourself, and I'm gonna say this, and this is some good game. To be good at anything, and when I was wrestling, I realized this. You have to be your own biggest fan. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay looking at other folks' stuff. Now you can ask people for like tips, like, hey, what do you think about this? How do you feel about this? And take other people's input, because you don't want to be that guy that's stuck in his own world, and you start producing like, sometimes you can get too much in your own head, and you have to get somebody to pull you back in and say, hey, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Do this and it'll look better. I'll ask people. I'll take criticism, because, that's one thing I was telling the guy I made a figure for that wrestle. He's a wrestling coach. I said, man, wrestling is good for everybody, because I think every kid should wrestle. I think every man should, have that experience, because you have to take criticism doing that sport. You may win a match and get back to the practice, and coach will show you something that you did wrong in the match. So you're going to take criticism wrestling. It's going to happen. And I take great criticism. And like if something's not right, I have people tell me, like this LeBron figure I made, I'm like, I'm not comfortable. I had a vision with the head, but I couldn't, like when I made it, I was like, I don't know, it's not. So I asked several guys about it, and they gave me a great input on it. So I'm going to change the head and go with a more realistic head, because some reason I had this, you can get influenced, right? I had got influenced on these drawings, these cartoony drawings that they do at like fairs and stuff. I got influenced by them because they keep showing up on my Facebook. So I actually made a figure with that style. I can't grab them yet, but I made a LeBron with that style. You know what I'm saying? That style. And it looked cool, but it's not. It's be like a cartoon in a realistic world. So I'm not doing that. So I'm going to have to switch him up a little bit. So I'm going to do original, real LeBron head sculpt and put that on there. Like with the Kobe, I thought he looked good with the bald face, but I got input about some people didn't like his smile. But I always remember Kobe smiling, but some people didn't like his smile. And some people didn't like the facial hair not being on there. So I said, well, cool, we'll fix that. We'll fix that next week. And that's what I like, man, input, because with good positive input, and sometimes it may even be negative, it's going to make you better. You know what I'm saying? There's never an L in life. There's only lessons. So if somebody tell you, hey, man, you might want to fix that or switch that up or change what you're doing and go this route because what you're doing. Because what'll happen is, you'll get so stuck in that one lane to the point where, man, you'll end up being, your stuff will start looking weird. You know what I'm saying? You'll start doing it. Even if you're not, you can just be in life. If nobody checks you in life, you'll get pretty wild. I remember when I was a kid, my dad, instead of, it used to really irritate me, but anytime right now I get to doing something stupid, I remember my dad used to always tell me, Aaron, you need to check yourself, Aaron. You need to check yourself. And this when I was like 16, 17, testosterone levels to the high. I'm wild and crazy. I'm out of control. I'm winning all these wrestling matches. You were not 16, about 16, 17, yeah. You couldn't tell me anything. I'm hanging out with the wild crowd and friends, But my dad used to tell me, Aaron, you need to check yourself. When he would say that, man, I would look at my life as a kid, almost still too as a kid, and I would start adjusting things until this day. I can still hear my dad telling me that you need to check yourself when I get too wild. And I have friends that'll check me with my art, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you need that stuff, people to check you with your art. Because like I said, and not even art, just lifestyle maintenance sometimes. You get too wild, man. So people, hey, man, you probably want to stop doing it or don't do that, And people, it's good criticism. It's not bad. People, they care about you to say those things. So yeah, that's how I kind of feel about that. And I appreciate it. Like, I had a friend to tell me all my figures are starting to catch the same color, but they're maroons, you know what I'm saying? They're not, and I've done some wild color ones too. One got burgundy pants, but that brown, that black, and that green, and I got one with a red hat on, you know what I'm saying? And that red facial paint, that's like maroon style, and that's my style. That's maroon style, and that's my style. So I can't drift too far away from it. Like I said, I just made some purple figures for my buddy Ken, you know what I'm saying? So I do play with the color palette, but I'm not gonna make, you see what I did with the Kobe. I played with the color palette. It's purple and yellow. But I don't see, I will do it, and I'll try it out. I will make a maroon with some purple on it or maybe some yellow. But, I'm using all the colors in the color palette. But, that's positive, and this guy I know cares about me. He's not just telling me stuff to hate on me. But yeah, so I'm gonna do some different colors with some maroons just to try that out. And what else I got new going on? More customs, more commissions, and having fun, man. Like I say, that's the best thing about this thing, man. I'm really having fun. You see how much fun I'm having. I made some maroon clothes, you know what I'm saying? I'm having so much fun with this thing. I'm not gonna talk your head off, man. I'm just enjoying chopping it up with y'all. Like I said, a dude said one time, talking on YouTube to the world and stuff. He said that's it's therapeutic, and I can see that sometimes because I sometimes have a lot of stuff to unload on me, man. You know what I'm saying? I got an issue, different, no financial issues, and that's one thing. I'm glad, man, I'm not having any financial issues, and I'm glad of that, man, because there's a point in my life when I did have financial issues, and I see there's points of people's lives that does have financial issues, and some of them come to the internet crying and complaining about it. And sometimes, man, you gotta listen, man. If you're having the financial issues and stuff, man, and I'm gonna be that guy to say it today. If you're having financial issues right now today in this world, the way this world is right now, you gotta been and had some bad stuff in your background to not get a job, okay? Because I live in this Arkansas, there's jobs everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a man and you can't find a job and you're not happy with your financial situation, man, you could 3D printers, bro. Get you a 3D printer. My buddy Ken just got one. Money's flowing in. If you're not articulated, like I said, with the man, you can use. Listen, it's a true story. I used to buy graphic designs, and come to find out these people wasn't even doing. These people were selling me AI images. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know this was many years ago, many years ago, but I didn't even know that. There's a site where people sell AI images, and they're like $40-$50. You think you're getting a deal, you're really not. People just saying something in the phone and shit's printed out and they're selling it to you. So I didn't know though. This was many years ago. This is before AI got as popular as it is. So there's all kinds of hustles, man, nowadays, man. There's so many different ways to get money. So you don't have to be on the internet crying and complaining about money, man. There's so much stuff you could do, man. I mean, I know a guy that's man, they're doing everything. I mean, there's money out there, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel sorry for anybody like with the money situation. That's a man, unless he has a physical disability, a mental disability. But as far as getting money and doing stuff, man, this is a good time to be alive right now in America, man. I know there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on, but I don't deal with that. I don't even watch the news. You can ask anybody I talk to. I don't watch TV. I live in my own world. I don't watch the news. I don't do none of that. So I don't know what's going on in the world, but I know in my world, it's a good world right now. You can do anything you want. I've been on several trips last year. I got several planned this year. Didn't really cost much. And I had an amazing time. I did some major figure hunting. You know what I'm saying? I had a little rumble with my car right now, but I'll probably, if it wasn't for the weather or my car, I'll be shooting up that 30 going to Dallas this weekend. Me and my girl having an amazing time, and we can do that. I remember times in my life when I was a kid, and anybody that was born in '82 or some time back, you remember a family trip, man, was big, you know what I'm saying? That didn't happen all the time. That was different. In the 90s too, that wasn't happening. If y'all did go on a trip, it was like you get in a family van or rent no cars, but nowadays, bro, listen, I preach this to everybody. I know I'm off the figures, I'm just rambling now. But when you book your rooms, book you a rental car with that. it don't even cost extra. I used to rent hotel rooms for the weekend, $400-500. So one day I was bored. I added a rental car and the price did not change. So every time I go out of town, I get a rental car. I don't even drive my car. I drive a rental. You know, I not promote that to everybody. Get you a rental, man. You see, I done went from Maroons to renting cars. Man, I'm up out of here, man. Stay tuned. More videos coming soon.